All right, we got some steel in. You see that? Yeah, it's right there. Okay. Turned around today. There's no one listening, so we'll just wait. Oh yeah, I need a jig. You see me over here? Yeah, I'll probably twist the. All right. Uh, got our steel in. I probably should have cracked it in a little bit ago, but I just got out back. We're making hooks today. If I can grab one. So here's what we're doing right here. They're for a commission job, so they're going to be hanging hooks. So we put two in just so it doesn't want to spin. They're using these for cubbies. We did this last week, but I got a lot to do. I got a stack, a mad stack. So we'll put those back there. And we're also gonna, let's see here. What else is rolling? I gotta measure a couple things here too. 7, 8.5. Perfect. All right, just about there. Just about there. All right, we'll get rolling. One more minute. One more minute. So yeah, we'll start with, let's see. This is essentially what we're doing today. Got a chunk of steel. It's 3/8 by 3/8. We're gonna draw this taper. We're gonna add our little curl. We're gonna put it in a jig to make the hook. We're gonna twist it and flatten it out, all that good stuff. So I think we're ready to go. Yeah, it's maybe about ready. All right. And we'll just pop it right back in and keep it hot. I do 3 at a time. That's all I can fit in my wee little forge. Plus, any more than that just kind of gets to be a lot anyway, so. I filled all my rings today. Let's go. All right. Number 3. And While those keep going, I'm gonna duck out of camera for a minute. I'm gonna turn the heat down back here, just a pinch. It's already hot. All right. I'll try and keep an eye on the feed today as well. Let's say ACP 1080, what up? PETA, Boha something, what up? Hey, Simon. We'll just start with, we'll keep it to Simon. All right, so I'm drawing these out. They're cut at 7 inches. I got to draw them out to 8.5. I got my fancy little mark on the end there. So that's the length. So I'll pop that in one more time to just dress it up real pretty. All right, third one before we go back and start cleaning up a little. All right, so we got our taper. So now we're ready to dress that up and get it ready for the little curl. Shout out, please. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, we got some shout outs. Oh my goodness. Going to Emma and Lila. What is up? You're still number 3. Okay, so Emma, Lila, I'm going to throw in a couple pieces of steel just for you. Okay, here's your little wee pieces. We're going to make you a couple of icicle ornaments. Since that's all I can really get out of these little chunks. so I'm going to toss those in. So in between here, I'll work on those too. I think I got to grab my other. Okay, so first it'll take a minute to heat up. So we'll get these clean here. I'm just breaking the edges. Then I'm gonna just roll the very tip here. Make sure it's all straight. All right, so that's ready for the next step. Yeah, what up, Emma and Lila? I got some pieces of steel in for you, so stay tuned here. We'll start cracking on those in just a second. So I'm just breaking the edges. because this is what the backpacks, hats, and whatnot are going to be hanging on. So we just want to make sure that there's nothing sharp on these. Make sure the whole thing is straight, ready for the next step. So number 2. All right, it's the third one. Then I think I'm gonna stuff yours in a little bit more. And I'm also gonna pop this out as well. All right, so I'm gonna twist this camera here. So first, let's see. Okay, first, I'm gonna put a little roll. There's a little curl on these. Let's get a tiny hammer real quick here. And then I'll get to your icicles, Emma and Lila. So for these little curls, I gotta make sure I bend them the right way. So we're gonna, all right, so we got our tiny little curl. We'll pop that right back in. Bend it. Just gotta make sure you bend it the right way here because I gotta wrap it back around the other way. Knock some of that slag off. All right, number 3 for the little curl. All right, number 3, clean that up. All right, so Emma Lila, we got some steel in here just for you. We're gonna make an icicle. See if you can twist that a little. There we go. What kind of steel? Sorry, I'm like I said. Oh, hey to the Bob Bike now. Man, that's a good looking lady right there. Let's see. What kind of steel we're using? Mild steel. It's 3/8 by 3/8 mild steel. All right, so first we're gonna take a break from the hooks and we're gonna work on these icicles. So I'm gonna pop that in, get my trusty twist wrench here. We'll do a full twist. It's like so. All right, so let's see, here we got, so Emma and Lila, there's your twist. So now we can go to the taper. First, I'll put the twist in this one too here. All right. So we're gonna let those heat back up so I can do the taper and everything else. Go back to the hooks now. So I got a jig that I use for all my hooks because I like them to be perfect every time. The one thing we got to remember as well, get all my junk out of the way. Let's see, some water to cool down the small little curl. So we'll pull our first hook out, or what's going to be, cool down the curl. Pop that in. Curl it around. So get that clean and show you our nice little. So there we go. It does that perfectly every time. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, I'll try and follow this up so bad. Yeah. Okay, so Rick and Raccoon, what up? You make lives for fun, free time. I see something else that you can. Oh yeah. So I've made a few knives. I make some railroad spike knives just for fun, for the kids. But no, I usually like making tools. So I usually making my own tongs and punches and drifts and all that. Okay, so we'll go to the next one here. Cool off the curl. Pop that in. Oh, wanted to come out there. Yeah, that one I'll have to put back in. Sometimes it does not want to I didn't make the curl big enough, I think. So we're gonna try and do that one again. Let's cool it off there, maybe. There we go. All right, let's try this one. All right, there's another one done. We'll go ahead and turn that in the other way. Get ready for the twist. Nice thing about these is they all go pretty quick. I'm gonna get rolling. So I gotta see if I can fix this one here. And my curl, it's not quite big enough. I think that first one, I got a spacer I use. So I'm just gonna make that a little bit bigger if I can with my, come on, there we go. Okay. So I'm gonna heat that one back up one more time. All right, so we're gonna go back to Lila and Emma. So now we're gonna work on a taper for these icicles. I got tools everywhere. Wrong hammer. Let's get the right hammer. There we go. So we'll get a taper on this one. And these, I made them a little differently this time, so I got to just be careful to keep too much of the fluted part, the twist off the anvil, so we don't bump it and make it look kind of ugly. So there you go. There's the start of the icicle. Now I just gotta turn it around, and I gotta smash the end to make an eyelet for the finish off that icicle. So we'll grab the other icicle here, get that taper rolling. All right, almost done with another icicle. And I know we're past the holidays and all that, but that's all I had steel for, so whatever. Okay, thinking about using leaf springs for the, yeah, for sure. Actually, I got a pile of leaf spring. Somebody gave me off an old Ford like grain truck from the 1930s, I think. And so I made my first little leaf or herb chopper. That was a lot of fun. The steel was interesting to work with. I committed to only using the hammer for the first half hour. Then I used some power tools. That really helped. But yeah, leaf springs, yeah, totally accessible too. We're making hooks and a couple of gifts for a couple fans of the channel. So let me see here. I'll get this last hook here, hopefully fixed. Cool off that. Hopefully this all goes back in and I can finish that hook off. Yeah, see, it's still not quite cool enough. Still wants to a little bit more. Perfect, there we go. Okay, so we're done with that. So now these just need twists. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop those in the other way. Get rid of this jig up here. I need a better way to store all of my stuff. Close that up. Here, I'll move the, let me bring this around so we can get a better shot here of the, wait, let me see. Nope, I'll finish up those icicles real quick. And then I'm gonna bring that camera around so we'll see how this jig works. Okay, so for these icicles, last thing here is we just gotta smash out that so we can drill a hole in it. So I'm just gonna, all right, grab that another way so we can see it. All right, so there's our first icicle done. We're just gonna pop a hole right here, which I'm just gonna drill later. But yeah, so that's a just simple icicle. All my scrap steel and all my runoff. I made a bunch of ornaments this last year, and yeah, they're a hit. So that's one icicle. We'll say that's for Emma. And then we'll flatten out our last one here. All right. Lila and Emma, there you go. I got a couple icicles. I'll see if I can't get them finished up today. They'll be ready on Grandpa's desk tomorrow. All right, I think I'll pop in 3 more pieces of steel. So this is how I kind of like to do it. I got a pile of these hooks I got to do. So when I'm on the last step, I'll pop in 3 more blanks here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring the camera around so we can kind of see what we're doing let's see if this works here. Get a little close up there. If I can find a good spot here. All right, there we go. All right, just peek at this feed real quick. Start doing some gibbies. They call those gibbies, by the way. Lucky fan gets it. Yeah, that's a great idea, though. Gals, I will absolutely consider it. No power tools? That's okay. I don't either. I have the 360 Armstrong. It's all we got right now. In your country, we have cheap power hammers. Yeah, so the power hammer I'm gonna make, look up treadle hammer. So Gurvinex, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Gurvinex. Look up treadle hammer. All you need is like a beam, sledgehammer, and some other material. You can make it all out of wood. Then you just need like some railroad track and or another sledgehammer essentially. And the treadle with a spring, you just step on it really hard and it works as a treadle hammer or as a power hammer. So that's going to be one of my next builds. You have power hammers? I'm sure you do. All right, so we'll put some twists in these hooks here, and then they'll be done, ready for the next batch. So I'm just going to get this lined up to the bottom of my vise. Gonna load this right underneath it like so. And we're gonna do a full twist, like so. Then we wanna make sure it all looks pretty and straight, which I think we do. Right there is a little, okay. So there we go. There's a finished hook with the twist and everything, and then it just awaits to drill a hole. But I'm gonna drill. I make enough of these where it just gets to be a lot to pound everyone through. When I go to do like an outdoor event, I'll usually go ahead and punch holes so people can kind of see how that works. Yeah, because the whole start to finish is a lot of fun when you can do it with just the tools you make instead of doing like a hand drill. But I'm all about the nice finished blacksmith look. So this one just needs a little bit of a tweak right there. There we go. Keep you up there. All right, just gonna clean this one up off camera here. Yeah, I'm gonna probably even turn my heat down a bit too. As soon as the forge gets nice and hot, then it's, for what I'm making, you can keep it pretty low. Well, lowish. So load that last hook in. Sure that all looks straight. That looks pretty good. And I try and get these as close as I possibly can. Here, I'm gonna walk this back over here. I try and get them as close as I can, but I'm not, still want them to look like they were, handmade. I'd like them all to be roughly the same height and yeah, so there we go. Finished hook. We just got to drill those holes. And that's the new style I started doing where I punch it in with a bullnose punch and then it's drill right through instead of flattening all out, kind of like I did those the icicles in the beginning there, if you caught that. All right, let's see here. Make sure we all look good on the. How did I have it set up before? Was it more like so? I don't know. Whatever. All right, let's see. What do we got here? You've seen one. Awesome. Good deal. Yeah, treadle hammer. That'll be one of my next big builds. All right, so we'll crack on these next set here. I usually just do 6 at a time. When I'm going live here. Saturday, I'll probably bust out the rest of these. I got a lot more to do. So draw that taper. You want to go right to the edge of your anvil when you're getting that points done. You don't smack your hammer on the anvil because that's no good. You'll feel that one. I don't think I'll beat my record today. I did 6 and 35 minutes last week. Since I tossed in those icicles, I think I'm a little behind now, but all right. So now I'm just going to draw them out to length. Now I'm going to get them dressed up, just get them nice and flat. And then we'll go ahead and knock the corners down. And then we'll just round off that tip a little bit. Make sure we're all straight. Sweet. Pop that in. Go to the next step. All right, last one, and we'll move to putting on the little curls. That one I think is already bowed. Yep. Just flatten you out. All right. To the curls. After I get a drink. Let's see here. All right. So now swap a hammer. Get a cute one out. And then since I already punched my holes, it does matter which way I bend these. So I got to bend it from the forward to the back. I'm going to make these just a little bit bigger this time. The last couple Had a few that didn't really want to stay in my jig. All right, so we got our little curl. That's all we're rolling for. I'm just gonna, all right, there we go. Wait, yeah, I can put that right back in. Brain stopped for a minute. All right. All right, so we'll curl this straight to the back again. All right, another one. I push these in a little further. All right, so those are all done. So now we're gonna go ahead and I'll bring it around so we can actually see the jig working this time. So let me grab you, walk you over nice and easy. So I got my vise attached right to my stump here for the anvil. All right, about like that. There we go. Nothing really fancy about this jig. There's 1,000 ways to make a jig, but basically you got your axle, you got your little post here for a stop. And all I'm gonna do is drop it in so the hook is out, put this on and just carry it around to the desired diameter, and there you go. So I think we got one ready here. Also need to remember to cool off the little curl. So we're gonna set that right in. Swap that around until I get to about there. So there we go. That's all it is. So I'm gonna get that just brushed off real quick. And we'll get it turned around. So next step, we're gonna do the twist. And hopefully this won't mess up. Please don't mess up as I fix my little mic. All right. So I got a little cup right here I could do it in, I guess. All right, so that gets dropped right in. Just walk you right around. Nice and easy. There we go. Second one. Or I should say my fifth one for today. Okay, just get that turned around to throw back in the forge. All right, last one for the jig. Like I said, there's 1,000 ways to make these jigs. Some really cool ones too that are maybe even simpler what I have. But I mean, depending on what you have to make them, I mean, all right, so there we go. So, I gotta get that turned around for the last step here. So one jig that I want to make is basically get two pieces of angle iron, and on top of them. So actually, here on my vise, These are 2 pieces of angle iron right here. So imagine these are free floating though. And you grab a couple pieces of pipe or solid round material and you just weld or bolt it right on, one to each piece of the angle iron, and you can shift them in the vise. So there's a gap, and so whatever material you spread them out to the material of the gap of the, or get a gap to the material thickness you have, drop that in, and just wrap it around one of those posts you have. And so it's super slick, it's super mobile. It makes it, I mean, a nice tight fit. Mine, see, I had to add a little piece of another piece of material so my hooks don't keep popping out. And it's super annoying, but so we'll leave this here because now we're going to go ahead and put the twist in. So I want to just get the bottom part of my hook to the bottom of the jaws on the vise. Then my little twist wrench here. We're going to give it a full 360. Like so. And just make sure the hook looks good. Looking for my, there it is. So I got to make one little, there we go. Sweet. That looks good. Maybe I'll just put that right there. All right, so I'm just going to clean this one up real quick here off camera. All right, go to our second to last. Just goes right down to the bottom of the vise. Clamp her in. It's important to try and keep this kind of spinning like a top so it stays straight up and down and will give you less problems later on when you're trying to make sure it's all straight. Tweak that a little. All right. Oop. Clean this one up here. All right, last one. Turn that a little low there. Hear myself think now. I don't really realize how, it's not like the forge is loud, but it's that it's so constant that by the time you shut it off, you didn't realize how loud it really was. All right, so that's looks pretty good. And I think my little jig must just kind of bend these every one so far I've had to kind of adjust. Let's put you back right there, tilt you down a little. There we go. Let's see, grab this last hook out of here. See what we got for time. Oh yeah, looking good on time. So yeah, definitely didn't beat my time last week, but make some fun gifts. So yeah, so that's all we're doing today. I got a bunch of these I got to make. I got a pile on my bucket. I cut up even more because I only have so much of this material left, so I want to cut the rest of the blanks out, and then we'll run all those off probably Saturday, and we'll see about going live Saturday. I don't know. Usually I got a buddy that comes in and we just kind of chat and hem and haw while we're making whatever we want to make. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. If anyone's got any questions or anything else, I will give a shout out to Andrew Larson. That's the hammer we're using today. I'm not sponsored by Adam or Aaron or Andrew. 5 different names. I'm not sponsored by Andrew. He didn't give me this hammer. I bought it from him. It's my first one I've bought from Andrew, and man, I love it. 3.5 pound classic rounding hammer. If you look up Andrew Larson blacksmithing, you'll find his stuff on all the socials and online and all that. But that's my main hammer I'm using now, and I absolutely love it. The hammers I was using before are all Harbor Freight hammers. So like I got a grip here. These are all my Harbor Freight hammers that are what? I mean, this probably cost $20 for all of these or something like that. But I mean, you want to talk about inconsistency. Granted, they're all pumped out, so I'm not being like, oh, Harbor Freight, why can't you make a good hammer? But I mean, I don't know if you can see, but like all these chamfers, they're all like they're different sized chamfers as you go around. I had to actually grind and round it off. But granted, I mean, this is just a 2 pound maul. They're not making any classic blacksmithing stuff. That's fine. So, but I mean, if you want a great place to start, I mean, grab some Harbor Freight stuff. It's cheap, it works, but they're all falling apart on me now. That's why I decided to grab a pro blacksmith hammer. Um, let's see if I missed anything. But yeah, that's about all we're gonna do today. Trying to get through these hooks, and we'll get on to some other projects. I got a lot more tongs I want to make. These are ones I bought off blacksmithdepot.com. This is, a set that I made, just another set of V-bit tongs. I follow a lot of Black Bear Forge, John over there. He's just the man at making tongs, and so I got to make a handful of different tongs for different sizes and all that. So we're gonna make videos on those too, and as we're learning, like trying to find a style and what I like and don't like. So, all right, everyone, hello from Brazil. Let's go. Are we forging in Brazil? Anything we're making, or are we just hanging out, looking through all the channels? But anyway, that's all I got for today. Yeah, we're just cracking off some hooks. We'll make Don't Speak from Russia. Ivan Vladimir Alves. I can't say that. I'm bad with all my stuff. What is up? So we got Brazil, we got Russia, we got people all over. Hey, thanks for hanging out today. We're gonna I might do a little forging tomorrow. We'll probably go live then, and then we'll probably go live on Saturday too. So catch me then. I'll post it on my YouTube channel when we're gonna post and what we're gonna be making. So thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you later. See ya.